Chapter 787, An Insane Pink Imaginary Friend. At the Jupiter prison, it was time for another rant session with the worst ever babysitter in the history of the world, Icky Vicky. Man boy, so this is the reason why you sent me to prison? Nico, yep. See that girl there? That's the worst ever babysitter in the history of the world, Icky Vicky. She's pure evil to the core. Nico explained all about her and Manboy was stunned. Manboy, that's awful. I love children and I would never treat them like that. Sure, I may be a bad guy, but even I have a soft side. Nico, that's true. But Icky Vicky is a monster and is a heartless psychotic sociopathic freak. Manboy, I believe it. Icky Vicky has a black heart. Molly Malloy, this is gonna be good, guys. Billy Deep, you said it. But I just can't help but feel sorry for Stewart's kids. Prisoner 2, I hear ya, Billy. They went through a rough time. Molly Malloy, I know. But they are getting better. Thanks for your concern. Prisoner 2, you're welcome. They got it underway. Molly Malloy, are you saying that I'm some flat and pointy object that gets struck by a hammer, here to fix your broken chair? Is that what you're saying? Icky Vicky, yes? Molly Malloy, that's it. I'll nail your fucking ass into pulp, you fuckwit. Molly Malloy jumped her and pulverized the living shit out of her and everyone was laughing their heads off. Nico, laughing hysterically, oh this always cracks me up. Billy Deep, my turn. I hope my parents don't ground me for this. Billy Deep went up to Icky Vicky. Billy Deep, are you calling me a spectacle? What, do I look like a lens in a frame, designed so you can see better out one of your eyes? Is that what you're saying? Icky Vicky, yes? Billy Deep, that's it. Billy Deep jumped her and pulverized her all over the place. Everyone was laughing their heads off some more. Manboy, laughing hysterically, oh this is so funny. Now I see what you meant by this, Nico. Nico, laughing hysterically, you got that right. Sheena Deep, my turn. Sheena Deep went up to Icky Vicky. Sheena Deep, are you trying to say I'm fat? That I'm some kind of chicken leg for your matzo ball soup? A chunk of fat meant to up your cholesterol levels? Icky Vicky, yes? Sheena Deep, that's it. I'll rip your fucking heart out and shove it up your fucking butt. Sheena Deep jumped Icky Vicky and pulverized the living shit out of her. Everyone was laughing hysterically again. Prisoner 3, laughing hysterically. Oh that is so funny. Nico, laughing hysterically. You got that right. Robbie Schwartz, my turn. I'm just gonna do a prank on her. Nico, okay. Robbie Schwartz went up to Icky Vicky and put a stethoscope on her. Robbie Schwartz then pulled out an air horn. Nico, uh-oh. Plug your ears, guys. This is gonna be loud. They plugged their ears. Robbie Schwartz put on noise-canceling earphones. She held the air horn up to the probe of the stethoscope and honked it. The horn blast was so loud that it made Icky Vicky's head shake violently and she screamed in so much pain as blood poured out of her ears. Everyone was laughing hysterically. Another funny rant session was in the books. Asterisk. Back on Earth, Nico was riding his Rapidash and Brittany Crosby was riding her own Rapidash with him. But her Rapidash was a dark element Rapidash. They were going to talk to Brittany's mom about what happened to Brittany during their encounter with Slappy. Brittany Crosby, this is so awesome, Nico. I love riding horses, but I never thought riding a Rapidash would be so awesome. Nico, JD is a great teacher of how to raise Pokemon. Brittany Crosby, he sure is. And I'm learning so much as well from you guys. Who are we gonna go after next in the Goosebumps series? Nico, we're going after Clarissa from Be Careful What You Wish For. Brittany Crosby, I remember reading that one. That was a great one. But her magic always takes a turn for the worse. Nico, I know. Clarissa is an evil sorceress. But she will pay for her crimes. But I can't believe that she turned Samantha Bird into a bird. But I have a feeling that she is out there somewhere and we will find her and help her. Nico and Brittany Crosby rode on and they had no idea that a hawk was watching them from on top of a tree. That hawk was Samantha Bird, transformed into a hawk by Clarissa. Samantha, I know you will, Nico. And I'll be waiting. Samantha flew off. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. In Jackson, Mississippi, they arrived at the house Brittany Crosby lives in. Turns out her house is a massive mansion. It was a beautiful 12,000 square foot home with all kinds of awesome features. Nico, wow. Brittany, I didn't know your family was filthy rich. Brittany Crosby, yeah. My mom is a very successful business entrepreneur and she makes a very popular health bar called Choco Honey Delight. Nico, ah. I love those chocolate bars. They are so delicious. Brittany Crosby, I know. They are so good. They went into the mansion grounds and the garden was a breathtaking and beautiful marvel. Nico, wow. Brittany, your garden is amazing. Brittany Crosby, I know. I got this magnificent mansion after my first visit to Horrorland. It's over $75 billion. We got a huge amount of money totaling $500 trillion. Nico, wow. That's a lot of money. Brittany Crosby, I know. It's not as big as J.D.'s wealth, but I'm not complaining. They went into the house and it was amazing. It was an amazing mansion worth a tremendous fortune and more. Nico, wow. Brittany, your house is amazing. Brittany Crosby, thanks Nico. It's home sweet home. Poliwag, it's so breathtaking. Mrs. Crosby then arrived. Mrs. Crosby, Brittany. Brittany Crosby, hey mom. They hugged and were reunited. Mrs. Crosby, I was so worried about you. Brittany Crosby, I'm sorry to worry you, mom. I was in good hands. Nico, hello Mrs. Crosby. I'm Nicholas Chan. But everyone calls me Nico and I'm one of the second in command of Team Loud Phoenix Storm. Mrs. Crosby, it's such an honor to meet you, Nico. Nico, there's a reason why Brittany wasn't here and we have a lot to tell you. They got to talking. Nico told Mrs. Crosby about the torment that Slappy inflicted to him, Brittany, and to several others. Mrs. Crosby was horrified. Mrs. Crosby, so Slappy tormented you as well? Nico, that's right Mrs. Crosby. Slappy was the worst ever monster I've ever encountered and I was dealt an indelible scar because of him. But Doctor Strange killed him before we did and sealed him into the dark dimension forever. But there are many others that he has tormented over the years and Brittany was one of his victims. Brittany Crosby, that's right mom. Slappy tormented me during my first visit to Horrorland. Mrs. Crosby, well, I'm just glad Slappy didn't do anything to hurt you, Brittany. Now, you just need to find yourself a boyfriend. Brittany Crosby, I'm sure my current outfit can help with that. It was Poliwag who gave me the black sunglasses. Poliwag? Hey. Don't make me an accomplice here. Nico laughed. Nico, but that is funny. But Brittany, you will find someone that's perfect for you. Mrs. Crosby, that's true. But Brittany, I love your clothes. Where did you get those? Brittany Crosby, my friend in Team Loud Phoenix Storm, Maria made them. She, Lenny Loud and Teresa Halen make awesome clothes. I'm also a member of Nico's branch team called the Goosebumps Monster Busters. Mrs. Crosby, that's amazing. Nico, it sure is. I'm the leader of the Goosebumps Monster Busters and our mission is to eliminate all the Goosebumps monsters that are terrorizing people all over the world. Mrs. Crosby, that's a heavy job. But I strongly believe in you all. Slappy terrorized so many people and ruined their lives. Nico, I know. But thanks for your support. Mrs. Crosby and Brittany is in good hands. Brittany smiled knowing that she is safe and that she can handle anything. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. At the estate we were watching TV, reading books, playing card games and more. I was looking up on the computer the members of Organization 13 and figuring what heartless they were before they became nobodies. Nico came back earlier and he caught a Lillygant and Whimsicott. Lana, the heartless that the members of Organization 13 became were really terrifying. Me, I know Lana. They were incredible though. But they were really powerful. Lola, which ones did we encounter again? Me, let's see. So far the ones we beat are Vexen's Heartless, the Cryo Flamer, Demix's Heartless, the Dragopool Dragon, Zaldin's Heartless, the Tornadic Death Storm, Elena's Heartless, the Electrified Sky Terror, Marluxia's Heartless, the Eight-Headed Pain Rose, Lee's Heartless, the Nuclear Fire Pain, and Elias's Heartless, the Volcanic Death Crystal. So far we've defeated 7 out of 13 Heartless for each member of Organization 13. Lainey, we're almost halfway there. Sora, Roxas is still inside me and he was part of Organization 13. Me, I know. But he merged with you so we won't have to fight him. I hope. The only ones we have left to destroy as Heartless are Xemnas, Xigbar, Zection, Sykes and Luxord. And I'm willing to bet that Xemnas' Heartless is gonna be the most powerful one ever. He is Xehanort's Heartless after all. Lee, yeah that's true. Xian, but I'm a nobody and I was part of Organization 13. Me, yes Xian we know that. But you have a light inside you that can pierce through the shadow of evil. Nico, let's not forget that Arazam is Maria's nobody and Snick was Ken's nobody. Me, that's what really surprised me. Maria and Ken didn't turn into Heartless. Arazam, that's what really startles us Maria. Maria, I know. You were born when I was cured thanks to the power of Tefnut. Arazam, I know. Carrie, and my nobody Namin is here. She's helping us out. Me, I know. But I have a strong feeling that we're about to face Sykes' Heartless next. Luan, if we do then we better be ready for him. Rita, and I want to help you out against him. Me, we would love to have you help Ms. Rita. We're always willing to give you a shot. You did get lightning powers and super elasticity. Rita, that's right and I can now be in multiple places at once now. Me, I know. Lincoln came in and he had the mail. Lincoln, mail's here guys. Me, oh cool. I went through it and we got a lot of neat stuff. But there was one letter that was out of the ordinary. Me, What's this one? I opened it and it was a note. Me, it's a note. Reading. Dear Blue. This is your future wife Barry. Guess what? I have Timmy Turner's parents and I am holding his parents hostage. If you want to see them alive again, you will marry me in a wedding to become mine. I love you Blue. Barry. It was a ransom note. Me, it's a ransom note. Lori, but who is Barry? Me, sounds like she's an imaginary friend that Blue knows. Blue, oh man. She is the worst. She has an insanely mad crush on me. Me, let me see here. I looked up her profile and she was a pink imaginary friend only half of Blue's size and she's a homicidal and envious psychopathic imaginary friend. She first appeared in Very Scary where she arrived at Foster's with luggage from an unknown home. She was welcomed by Frankie, but her eyes were stuck on Blue. She instantly fell in love, and followed him everywhere he went. The first sign of her jealous personality was shown when Blue got up from the dining room table to get cake, and another imaginary friend took his chair. Barry asked him politely to leave, but he refused. She then got angry and yelled, and the imaginary friend got up and ran. Barry followed Blue to his bedroom, where she met Mac. When she learned that they were best friends she grew an instant hatred for Mac, and planned to get rid of him. When Blue and Mac were outside in an attempt to break the world record for most paddle Pauls paddled, she arrived and cut the string with scissors. causing the ball to fly across the field. Blue was about to retrieve it when Mac pulled out a spare. He began the paddling again, and Barry once again cut it. This time Blue was forced to go get it, and Barry started a conversation with Mac. She drew a knife and began slashing an unknown object off screen with anger in her eyes. When she finished, she grabbed the object, which were Rice Krispie treats, offering one to Mac. Mac, unsure about Barry, denied the offer. Over the course of the next few days, Barry would interfere with their world record plans, even putting Mac's life in danger by locking him in a freezer. Finally, Barry met Blue in the bathroom and told him that Mac must have been getting in the way of their world record plans, and told him to work with her instead. That evening, Barry showed Blue the world's biggest rubber band ball she had been working on, and asked if Blue would help her with the last rubber band. The entire house was watching, until Mac arrived to stop them by cutting the last rubber band. Mac and Blue then used a new rubber band to strap Barry to the ball, and her constant squirming caused the ball to roll back and break through the wall. She rolled off into the distance, eventually breaking the world record for longest distance traveled while strapped to the world's largest rubber band ball. Her next and last appearance was in A Fair Weather Friends, where she disguised herself as a rich boy named Barry Bling. She was given a tour of Foster's, eventually asking Mac if she could purchase Blue for $100. Mac refused the offer, and Barry Bling kept raising his offer, eventually going to $10,000. Mac refused even this, and Barry left. On the way out the door, she said that now she had nothing to do but to play with the thousands of toys he owned, including an automatic paddle ball. This caught Blue's interest, and would sneak out of Foster's on a daily basis to play with Barry. Eventually Mac found out about what Blue was up to and stormed off to Barry's mansion to confront the two. He couldn't find them anywhere, but did find many unusual things: several Barry Bling costumes, the tied-up family who owned the mansion, and a shrine to Blue. Eventually, Mac found the toy room, but the lights went out and a strange noise could be heard. When they were turned back on, Mac found himself tied to the world's largest rubber band ball and was confronted by Barry, who ripped off her costume and rolled the ball onto a set of train tracks. The ball was placed just right so that if a train would be coming it would hit and kill Mac, which is just what Barry planned on. She got in the toy train and turned it on, and the train raced at Mac. Just when all hope seemed lost for the boy, Blue arrived and didn't even notice that Mac was in danger. Finally, he realized what was going on, and Barry tossed her automatic paddle ball at him. Blue was torn between saving Mac or taking the paddle ball. He came up with a plan and took the paddle ball, turned it on, and launched the ball at Mac. Mac grabbed onto the ball with his mouth and was pulled from the trap. Barry hit the rubber band ball and was once again strapped to it, which broke through the wall and rolled off into the distance with Barry screaming. It is unknown what happened to her afterwards, whether or not she survived this time like before. Me? Whoa. This imaginary friend has some serious problems. William, why would Barry want to kidnap Timmy's parents? Blue, maybe as a bargaining chip for me to marry her. Well, Barry can have them. Eddie, snickers, funny that they got captured by an imaginary friend smaller than them. Timmy, laughs, you said it. They're so dumb that they weren't even prepared for Barry's attack. Nico, Soundwave, send the coordinates of where Mr. and Mrs. Turner were last spotted. We need to rescue them. Wraither, what? Nico, you can't be serious. Animorphs Rachel, please reconsider this. Timmy, angrily, after how my so-called parents left me at Icky Vicky's mercy so many times, Barry can kill them for all I care. We gasped at what Timmy said. Me, Timmy, that's a terrible thing to say. Very, yeah, they may be idiots but they are still your parents. Wanda, Very is right, sport. I know that your parents haven't been good to you, but you need to think about this. Nico, that's right. I'm not a fan of them either. But we still have to save them. Brian, Nico, this is Mr. and Mrs. Turner we're talking about here. Even if we save them, they're still not going to stop neglecting Timmy, Nico, I know. But with great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man, Nico's right. And it's our responsibility to save Timmy's parents. Even if they were neglectful to him. Chester, come on, dude. You gotta go with Timmy, no way in hell. Look, guys, I just can't save my parents after everything they've caused. Optimus Prime, we support your choice, Timmy. Given your history with your parents, your judgment will be clouded, and will comprise the mission. 2D, don't worry, guys. Me and Trixie will talk with Timmy about this. Trixie, I guarantee that after half an hour, Timmy will join you out there. Me, as much as I want to agree with Timmy, I'm afraid Nico has a very good point. If we don't rescue Timmy's parents, we're gonna end up becoming as bad as all the villains we killed and the villains that want to kill us. Sure, Timmy's parents may be idiots and they are completely uneducated, but they are still people nonetheless. Maria, you really think Timmy's gonna sit back while Barry and her goons kill his parents? Skywarp, I don't blame him if that's the case. His parents were neglectful towards him. Me and the rest of the gang may have worked for Starscream and Megatron before meeting you guys, but even we drew the line at neglecting Sparklings. Nico, I agree. Skywarp, I'll find their location. Skywarp scanned the area and they are at Foster's home for imaginary friends. Skywarp, they're at Foster's. Me, then that's where we need to go. Timmy, we'll leave you here with 2D and Trixie. If you are up for helping us, you can. Let's roll. We set out for Foster's. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. We arrived at Foster's home for imaginary friends and we were hiding in the bushes and we saw Timmy's parents tied to a pole with wood around it. They were gonna get ready to burn them at the stake like back centuries ago. We saw Barry and she was a small imaginary friend. But we also saw a horribly grotesque Heartless with Barry. I recognized it as Sykes's Heartless. Sykes's Heartless looked like the Blair monster from The Thing in 1982, and it had moon tentacles and Sykes's head that was half human. It had the glowing yellow eyes of a Heartless. It was called the Lunar Gore Travesty. Me, what the fucking hell is that thing? Nico, that's Sykes's Heartless. The hair is completely unmistakable. Lee, I can't believe that ISA's Heartless looked like that. Elena, me neither. It's horrifying. Lee, I know. The man that once was my best friend is gone forever. Sykes's original self, ISA, was the best friend of Lee, the original self of Axel, being the foil to his friend's zany antics. Prior to their attempt to infiltrate Hollow Bastion, ISA and Lee find Ventus. Watching Lee cheer the boy up, ISA joins his friend in sneaking in before they are thrown out of the castle by Dylan. Years later, ISA's heart was removed from his body by Tarazi Hanort, creating Sykes. Sykes plays a relatively important role in Organization 13, assigning missions to all the other organization members. Sykes is the one who gave Xemnaz's orders to Axel to eliminate traitors to their organization in Castle Oblivion. It is generally accepted by the remaining members that at this point the two plan to not only eliminate traitors, but also anyone who stood in the way of their plans, such as Vexen and Zection. Sykes is also revealed to be the one who picked which members would be going to Castle Oblivion, namely the members suspected of being traitors, as well as anyone else who was getting in the way. After Axel's return from Castle Oblivion and his growing friendship with Roxas and Xian, a rift between Sykes and Axel begins to form. He eventually confronts Axel of this, as their friendship is more concrete because their original selves were best friends. Eventually, Sykes dismisses his previous plans with Axel as just an idle fantasy, as they both have changed too much for them to be friends anymore. Working on Organization 13's plans for Sora with Xemnas, he later challenges Roxas to a battle of will when the Keyblade wielder attempts to leave Organization 13. He loses the battle, and Roxas escapes. Up until Xian's destruction and absorption at the hands of Roxas, Sykes views the Sora copy as nothing but a mere, hooded puppet. He even insists that the others would say it when referring to Xian, rather than she. After Xian's end, Xemnas orders Sykes to retrieve Roxas, who is on his way to the castle that never was, to defeat Organization 13 and free Kingdom Hearts, because he believes it will resurrect Xian. While not confronting Roxas himself, it is possible that Sykes was the one who sent the Neos Hados after Roxas, who destroys the Heartless easily. Sykes' first appearance is in Hollow Bastion, along with all surviving and loyal organization members to taunt Sora. Sykes first appears in the Sandlot after Sora and company rescue Cypher from the Nobodies. Sykes appears before the trio, applauding their battle skills. He informs them of a traitor, Axel, and believes that he might be in Twilight Town somewhere. Sora insults the organization, remarking on how they are not a very organized organization. Sykes is unfazed, and tells Sora to watch his back, for Axel will stop at nothing to turn him into a Heartless. Sora declares he is not worried, prompting Sykes to remark that the organization would want nothing to happen to Sora. He also cryptically remarks that the organization knows how to injure a heart. He then opens a portal of darkness behind him, and Sora thinks of jumping in after him, though Sykes overhears this and advises not to do so, lest he ends up like Riku. Sora inquires as to what he means, but Sykes immediately leaves to report to Xemnas that he succeeded in placing Sora in a state of confusion and frustration to keep him going toward their goal. Sykes also states that Axel may prove a thorn in their side, which leads to Xemnas giving him orders to deal with the renegade. Sykes next appears in Hollow Bastion during the Heartless invasion, interrupting Axel and Sora's conversation, and forcing the traitor Nobody to flee. Sykes ensures that Axel will be rightly punished, but Sora is not mollified, his only goal being to enter the realm of darkness to rescue Carrie. His face unreadable, Sykes asks Sora to prove just how much he cares about Carrie. In response, Sora actually gets onto his knees and begs at the Nobody's feet. Seeing Sora's devotion to the Princess of Heart, Sykes sees this as a further opportunity to enrage and confuse Sora so that he might further the organization's goal. He refuses Sora's wish, eliciting a hot fury. Bending Sora's anger to suit his own needs, Sykes convinces Sora to destroy more Heartless so that the hearts held within them are released by the Keyblade. Then they may flock to Xemnas' synthetic Kingdom Hearts, which will be all the closer to completion because of it. At that moment, Maleficent appears, declaring with much aplomb that Kingdom Hearts will belong to her. She summons more Heartless to attack Sykes, despite Sora's protests, but Sykes calmly summons several Nobodies to destroy the attacking Heartless. Maleficent then places herself between Sora and the Nobodies, telling him to devise a way to vanquish the organization. Swarmed by Nobodies, she is overwhelmed and disappears, allowing Sykes to resume convincing Sora to release more hearts. But before he can finish his ploy, Sora, Donald, and Goofy are rescued by a portal of darkness that swallows them up, which was Maleficent's doing. Sykes is seen again talking to Carrie in her cell in the castle that never was within the world of Nobodies. He tells her, much to her horror, that she is the fire that feeds Sora's anger. Carrie realizes that Sora is getting lured into a trap all because of her. However, Namian unexpectedly appears in her cell and rescues her through a portal of darkness. The two halves then begin fleeing the castle to try and make good on their escape. Sykes soon appears and attempts to stop Carrie and Namian, but Riku, still cloaked and in the form of Xehanort's Heartless, attacks him from behind. Sykes does a backflip in the air and lands a few feet away. Riku slams him up against the wall, intending to finish him once and for all. However, Sykes opens up a portal behind him and sinks away into the wall with a smirk. Sykes again appears in the castle that never was to Sora, who had managed to work his way through the organization's floating fortress with the help of Donald, Goofy, Riku, and Carrie. He looks lovingly upon his Kingdom Hearts, his source of power. He tells Sora that Carrie no longer needs him and makes a cryptic remark about a friend from the darkness. Sora is not deterred by Sykes' manipulative comments, but Sykes is not concerned. He tells Sora that the organization's Kingdom Hearts is nearly done, pointing to the heart-shaped moon in the sky. He then enigmatically asks Sora if he can hear the euphoria of the countless hearts he has harvested. He summons more Heartless for Sora to destroy, but his attention is quickly turned to Maleficent, who has also infiltrated the castle along with Pete. He takes this in stride, wondering in an amused voice if the intrusions will ever end, and soon after vanishes to check on Kingdom Hearts. Sykes appears to Xemnas, who is watching Kingdom Hearts come closer to completion. He asks the superior if he can end this charade, and Xemnas grants him permission. Sora's part in their plan is done with and he can now safely be killed. Sykes smiles savagely and remarks that he's waited so long to hear that. Sykes awaits Sora, Donald, Goofy, Riku, and Carrie in a room with a direct view of Kingdom Hearts, Adult Impasse. He calls Sora by the name of Roxas, saying only he could have made it this far, though Donald vehemently states that he is Sora. Sykes seems not to care, simply stating, different name, same fate. Then, summoning his claymore, he creates a potent shockwave with sheer strength alone. This power manages to push away Carrie and Riku back towards the entrance of the room. He then quickly erects a force field, separating them from the battle, yet doing no harm. Them taken care of, he confronts Sora, Donald, and Goofy for the final time. He finally lets his outer decorum slip away. Under the influence of the moon, he becomes savage and unrestrained, truly a model for his berserker nobodies. However, despite Sykes' great strength, speed, power, and skill, he is overcome. Defeated and mortally wounded, he limps away from Sora to the ledge overlooking the moon. With the last of his strength, he asks, "Why, Kingdom Hearts, where is my heart?" All his power gone, he now fades back into his revived in Radiant Garden, along with Lee and the rest of Ansem's apprentices save Xehanort. Young Xehanort arrives and, with Braig's assistance, takes ISA to join the new organization. Sykes, revealed to have been infused with a fragment of Xehanort's heart, is made a member of the new organization. When Lee attempts to save Sora from being turned into the 13th member, Sykes is sent to stall Lee, much to Lee's horror. Sykes first appears in the Keyblade graveyard with a hooded Vexen, who had chosen to return to the organization to continue research on his replica program, saying Ansem did not appreciate his abilities while Xehanort did. Sykes later appears at the clock tower in Twilight Town with Lee, but with no intention of fighting him. The two talk as if they were still friends, their conversation revealing their true motives for joining the original Organization 13. As some bodies, they had befriended a girl only referred to as Subject X, and was held inside the castle. When she disappeared, the two became apprentices for Ansem the Wise before he too disappeared and ISA became a nobody alongside Lee. Their entire reason for climbing the ranks of Organization 13 was to get information on Subject X and learn what happened to her, knowing full well that Xemnas, as Xehanort's nobody, has knowledge of her predicament, but they had no luck in finding her. Sykes' anger at Axel's newfound friendship with Roxas and Xian was out of betrayal, feeling Axel had decided to forget about Subject X Lee rebuffs, trying to persuade Sykes to leave the new organization, but Sykes retorts by saying Roxas is gone forever too. Sykes and Lee part ways fully expecting to battle one another at the fated place. This ends up being true as Lee and Carrie fight both Sykes and another member before Sora intervenes. Sykes overpowers him, and Lee once again tries to persuade his old friend to stop, until Xemnas arrives and berates Lee for his treason. Sykes simply watches as Xemnas mercilessly attacks both Lee and the other member, revealed to be Xian, before Roxas arrives to save them. Xemnas kidnaps Carrie, leaving Sykes to deal with their enemies. Sora, Roxas, and Xian fight and defeat Sykes. When Lee approaches Sykes, the latter asks why he looks sad. Lee responds by commenting on what the organization has reduced Sykes to. Sykes once again reminds Lee of his betrayal, not to the organization, but to him, as he befriended Roxas and Xian while abandoning their goals after everything Sykes had done to try and find her. Lee assures him he never forgot, which Sykes knew deep down, allowing his jealousy to get the better of him. He fades away in Lee's arms, being called by his real name before being reborn as his original self. Through a secret report, it was revealed he was actually a key part of the Guardians of Light's victory, Having met even, both expressed a desire to atone for their past actions. Since Sykes was already in the real Organization 13, he had the ability to bring even in as a nobody once again, the latter willing to sacrifice his new life to get access to his replica program, which would allow Roxas, Xian, and Namine to become human and therefore coexist with their original selves. Me, I just can't believe that this is what he became. And Organization 13 had him in their plans to destroy the universe. Nico, I know. Me, let's go. We fired energy blasts and created a smokescreen, and the Flash moved with incredible speed and freed the Turners. Barry, stop them. The smokescreen vanished and we were standing in front of Barry with the Turners in our protection. Barry, Team Loud Phoenix Storm. Seductively, hello Blue. Blue, I'm not your boyfriend. Me, that's right Barry. Sykes, Lee. Lee, hello ISA. How nice to see you again. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. At the estate, Timmy, Trixie, and Tootie were watching a Godzilla movie. Timmy was watching the action with interest, while Tootie and Trixie's gazes were anywhere but the TV. Timmy, Godzilla and King Kong. You two are missing the smackdown. Trixie, no, you're missing the smackdown. Tootie, which stinks, because your parents are your responsibility, not JD's, and definitely not Barry's. Timmy, girls, you just don't understand. My parents are the reason Icky Vicky tormented me for so many years. You have no idea of all the trouble that they've caused. I'm not rescuing them, okay? Not now, not ever. Tootie, you don't have to forgive them, Timmy. But saving them is the right thing to do. Timmy, give me one good reason why I should rescue them. Trixie, because Ohana means family. And family means no one gets left behind. Timmy started to realize that Trixie and Tootie were right. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. We were facing the Lunar Gory Travesty and Barry. Me, this heartless form is perfect for you Sykes. It really brings out your personality, cruel, malicious, and intending to kill everyone like the monster you have become. Lunar Gore Travesty, I don't know why all of you are trying to stop us. We hate Timmy Turner's parents just like all of you do. Carly Beth, but to kill the two of them, even after everything they caused. Barry, why not? We don't like Mr. and Mrs. Turner. You all don't like Mr. and Mrs. Turner. So us killing them will be a favor for Timmy. Unless Blue decides to marry me, of course. Blue, fat chance you pink freak. Lee, just out of curiosity, Sykes. What do you think Barry's gonna do with you once she gets Blue? I doubt she's gonna make you her best man. Once she gets what she wants, she's gonna toss you aside. Lunar Gore Travesty, like you tossed me aside? Lee, you and I both made decisions that led up to this point. What matters, ISA, is your next move. And I'm willing to bet that underneath that heartless shell is the old you somewhere. Lunar Gore Travesty, he's gone forever. Just like you all will be. Me, I don't think so you freak. We powered up and transformed. Me, things are now totally different than when we fought the last time Sykes. We're now far more powerful than ever before. Let's get them. We went at the Lunar Gore Travesty and Barry and we punched and kicked them all over the place. Lewin called out her claymore, she got called the lunatic. Lunar Gore Travesty, so you now still use my claymore Lewin? Lewin, that's right, and I'm going to send you back to the moon. Laughs, get it? But seriously, I'm going to kill you again. Lewin bashed him in the head with his claymore and pulverized his head with indiscriminate fury. She fired a powerful blast of moonlight at the Lunar Gore Travesty and it burned him all over. Rita fired a massive blast of lightning and electrocuted him all over the place. Then suddenly Timmy appeared and kicked him in the face. Mac, all right, Timmy. Lewin, I knew he'd join in on the fun. Lunar Gore Travesty, to Timmy, you fool. You could have let your parents burn. But instead, you chose to save them. Why? Timmy, they may be my stupid parents and they have left me at the mercy of Icky Vicky, but that doesn't mean that they are still my parents. Lewin bashed the lunar gore travesty in the stomach and kicked him in his huge mouth and bashed him with the claymore again. She slammed it into him with devastating force and smashed him with even more devastating force. Smash. 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 Eddie fired a massive blast of light at the lunar gore travesty and it hit him and burned him. I punched him in the face and knocked out some teeth. Me, you are just the lowest of the lowest psychs. You killed so many innocent people all for your own selfish gains to destroy the entire universe. Lainey, that's right. You make me sick just looking at you. Lewin bashed him again. Thrust, let's get him with our combos and final smashes. Lewin, you got it. Thrust. Thrust, let's get him. Cyber key power. The Earth cyber planet key went into his back jet engine and it enabled a powerful missile launcher to pop out of him and more missiles were there. Sky warp, let's get him. Cyber key power. The Decepticon cyber planet key went into his back and more missiles and more heat-seeking missiles popped out. G1 thrust and sky warp, missile firestorm barrage. They fired numerous missiles at the lunar gory travesty and they hit him all at once and exploded. Crab Lewin, let's get him mom. I'll start. Lewin flew at the lunar gore travesty and flew into the air. Lewin, crescent moonlight slash. Lewin flew to him and formed a powerful energy crescent moon blade and she swung her claymore and slashed the lunar gore travesty right down the middle. Rita, my turn. Lightning storm punishment. Rita fired a massive blast of lightning and it slammed into the lunar gore travesty and it made him explode. Crab Sykes was killed instantly in the explosion and then he was sucked into the portal into the river of fire. Lee, goodbye old friend. The fight with Barry was a rough one. I punched her in the face and Blue kicked her in the face. Carly Beth fired a massive barrage of razor-sharp flower petals and cut Barry good. Lola and Lana punched and kicked Barry all over the place. Me, let's finish this. Combo and final smash time. Carly Beth, you got it JD. Animatron Cyber Key Power. The Animatron Cyber Planet Key went into her right arm device and it enhanced her flower and water powers 100-fold. Jetfire, Australian accent, let's do this mates. Jetfire turned into Cybertron Jetfire. Cybertron Jetfire, Cyber Key Power. The Autobot Cyber Planet Key went into his back and a powerful laser cannon popped out. Carly Beth and Jetfire, Laser Flower Cutter Storm. Carly Beth fired a massive storm of flower petals and Cybertron Jetfire fired a massive energy cannon blast from his back cannon. They blasted and shredded Barry. Mac, let's get this monster. Power of imagination and friendship. Mac thought of everyone he knows and loves and he fired a massive blast of energy and the spirits and power of everyone he knows appeared in the blast and it hit Barry and exploded. Crab Blue, let's show her. Blue burst bomb. Blue fired a massive blue energy bomb and it slammed into Barry and exploded. Crab Barry was knocked down and she was defeated. I picked her up. Me, Barry, I think you need a nice long stay in our newest prison. We sent Barry to the Jupiter prison for imaginary fiends. Her cellmate was Bendy. Nico, Barry and Sykes, you have failed this whole universe. Me, they sure have. Then we faced Timmy's parents. Jetfire, to Timmy's parents someday, you two are gonna have to repay your debt to us. The day when it comes time to choose sides. Mrs. Turner, between all of you and the Legion of Doom? Thrust, no. Between your own wants and needs and your own son. To Mr. Turner, and I think it would be best if no one else at Dimesdale knew about this little rescue. After all, you do want Dinkelberg to believe that you and your wife escaped on your own, right? Timmy, listen, guys. Thanks for convincing me to save my parents. Trixie, no problem, Timmy. Me, I'm glad they helped you out. Mac, to the viewers, neglectful parents are always a problem, and to all bad parents out there, if you mess with the safety of children, Team Loud Phoenix Storm is coming for you. Me, you said it, Timmy. Timmy's mom and dad were placed on supervised probation for their neglect on Timmy. But if they try anything stupid again, it's prison time. The end. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Another fanfiction complete and another bad imaginary friend brought to justice. Barry was one of the worst imaginary friends ever created, and she was trouble with a capital T. Nico-chan 11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks man, as usual. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time.